With the Formula 1 private test in Barcelona wrapping up today, I thought it'd be a great idea to go over all of the cars and go into details on some of the intricate things that you may not have spotted on them and do a breakdown across the board. We'll be going and showcasing hidden s-ducts, radical rear suspension designs and other small little attentions to details these Formula 1 teams have placed on their 2026 cars, even if these are the base cars from which they will be using in the pre-season. And we'll begin with the RB22, and in particular something we found on an image they released on their socials on day 2, if I'm not mistaken, and it's really interesting to spot. Now, if you look at where the new wakeboard arrangement is, essentially what a barge board used to be, you will see that the angle of the stay, what is connecting the wakeboard and keeping it in place, has got this really nice twist to it, almost using the stay as an aerodynamic appendage, basically helping to direct the airflow from the front of the car in the direction they wish it to be. So this is rather a small thing, but something again that I love to pay attention to that you may not have noticed. Also, in some other images, it looks to be Red Bull have reintroduced something they had on their car a couple of seasons ago now, which is the halo inlets, which are semicircular, which it looks like this could be the case. I haven't been able to 100% confirm it, as I've seen Red Bull have been trying out different cooling packages as well across these days in Barcelona, but nonetheless, lovely attention to detail from the Red Bull crew and engineers. Now, before we go any further, I'm running a competition on the channel throughout pre-season testing. You have the opportunity and chance to win this Michael Schumacher Ferrari 1998 scrap photo book. It's got a picture, as you saw, of Michael with the launch of the 98 car, if I'm not mistaken. All you've got to do to be in with a chance of winning is subscribe to the channel, leave a comment in this, and at the end of pre-season testing I will leave a community post with the announcement of the winner. Right, let's carry on with some of the intricate and highly secretive details I've been able to spot. Now let's turn our attention to Scuderia Ferrari, who have a rather bigger piece of technical innovation that they maybe have kept secret, and it is in fact potentially an s-duct. Let me explain where it is and how it all works. Well, if you look at this photo of Charles Leclerc, which is on the screen at this very moment, you'll notice that it's a very zoomed in angle of the side of the SF-26. We get a good look at the halo, the engine cover, the side pod, and a little bit of this new look barge board section of these 26 cars. Now, if you notice on the side of the driver panel where they rest, there is an exit. An opening and an exit, essentially. Now, it is my belief this is Ferrari housing a s-duct on their SF-26. Now, where is the in point? Where is the entry point in this photo? Well, if we brighten this photo up and we have a look at the vane ahead of Ferrari's side pod, it merges into the side pod, which could in turn be a cooling inlet, or is it linked to the vent fitted behind the cockpit? This is my belief, essentially. I believe this could be an s-duct, and this opening that goes into the side pod feeds the air through the side pod up into the exit on the side of where the driver has their headrest. Now, I believe that is what is going on here. Now, what would be the reasons behind Ferrari introducing this s-duct onto the SF-26? Well, of course, it is all about clearing up the airflow channels and patterns in and around the side pod section. Of course, the airflow on top of the side pod as it goes into the diffuser area, and of course along the nose. Up next is the Mercedes team, and we're looking at the front of their W17, specifically into the front brake duct region. Now, the image on screen, if you look at the front brake duct deflector, it is a really nice piece of engineering. Essentially, this is for like debris and bits of the tire coming off. They have this deflector to move that away from the car and the actual brake inlet, essentially. But it's also being designed in a method through which it's going to act as an aerodynamic device, almost generating this outwash effect with the design of it. As you can see on the screen, it has a nice distinct curved outwards. That will be obviously the exact same thing on the opposite side of the front of the W17, and essentially this is just making sure they're getting rid of the front tire weight and it's not interrupting the clean airflow structures that they want at the front of the car. Another thing which is unique to Mercedes, but now also the Aston Martin car, is the positioning of their front wing mounting positions. Here's a breakdown of how that operates and how it all works. And the first unique feature of the Mercedes ring over that of every other team is the mounting position for their two pylons which connect the nose to the front wing. Now, for all the other teams, this has been on the main plane, but for the Mercedes W17, these pylons are attached to the secondary plane. So only the flaps as a result of that on the third plane are free to move. And when I say that, I'm talking about the active aero element with the opening of the rear wing and the front wing. Now, the front wing, which is on screen right now, shows the Mercedes front wing in the active aero mode, the attack mode. And essentially, as I've just explained, there are three sections to this front wing and its active aero mode. You have the blue section, which is fixed constantly, does not move no matter what mode you're in. You have the section highlighted in yellow, which is of course going to be activated when in attack mode to dump drag, and then it will then reset when you're not in attack mode. But the point we need to focus in on is the area highlighted in red. This is an area through which Mercedes have introduced something no other team has as of yet with their front wing. And essentially they've created this fixed channel in the lower part of the nose, which is directing airflow towards the underfloor all the way to the T-tray area on the underside of the nose. And as you can see, the upper dentures, which are highlighted in red as I've mentioned, are there to manage and to optimize the direction and quality of the airflow downstream. Up next, let's now focus on the Adrian Newey led designed AMR26, a unique car full of really interesting concepts and ideas. But there's one area I want to pay close attention to. It is the rear suspension of the car, specifically what it looks to be doing, which is it's being attached to the rear wing pylon, something I have not seen in Formula One for many seasons now. In fact, Adrian Newey, if I'm not mistaken, pioneered this all the way back on the RB16B, the first time Max Verstappen won a world title. Essentially, some of the rear suspension arms are attached to the rear wing pylon. Now, this is all to do with aerodynamic gains. I'm going to do another video on that, a more detailed breakdown later on today, or it's already out on the channel. There'll be a link in the top right corner if you've not as yet seen that breakdown. And those are the things that I've spotted, which some of you may not have spotted on these 2026 cars at first glance. And they're really nice. Some intricate ideas which are very small and difficult to spot if you're not looking out for them. Some rather secretive ideas with regards to the s-duct on the Ferrari potentially, and it's obviously just test one. It's behind closed doors. We haven't got a lot of images as teams were only allowed to reveal, if I'm not mistaken, 6 images per day. So that is why we've not got a huge amount of breakdown of the cars to a huge degree. But nonetheless, loads of interesting ideas that can be spotted. And I'm sure loads more will come along in the subsequent test in Bahrain on February the 11th onwards. Let's look out for what arrives on the cars there. Anyway guys, thank you for watching. Hope you've enjoyed it. If you have, do leave a like on this video. Hit the subscribe button down below. And don't forget to turn on notifications. Right, enjoy your rest of your week and I'll catch you later.